Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be reviewing the NewBeeDrone AcroBee BLV4. That's right, they just came out with a new version. It's the BLV4, and that's a little bit tongue twisting because I'm so used to saying 3 in there. But now we have the 4, and we got a lot of upgrades on this thing. Let's get straight into it. It's an all new color. This purple color is pretty awesome. A lot of people don't know it, but actually purple used to be my favorite color until my dad said, hey, purple's not for guys and purple's only for girls, so don't like purple. So I ended up liking blue as my favorite color, but purple used to be my favorite color, so I'm really happy with how this thing looks. It looks pretty cool. So we're going to go ahead and go over the version 3 compared to the version 4. On the version 3, we had 5 to 120 milliwatt on VTX, and on the version 4 we have all the way up to 400 milliwatt. Next up we have range, and on the version 3 we had around 500 foot, which wasn't the greatest, but if you did stick a TBS Nano RX in there, it did improve the range, which is what I did actually typically. On the version 4 we have up to 1/3 mile, which is pretty awesome. That comes to 1,760 foot, which is more than 3 times what we previously had. And our receivers, instead of it being FR Sky, we are looking at the ELRS receiver, which I'm really liking personally. On the motors, previously we had the 0802 18,000 kV. Now we're stepping it up. It's the 0802 new edition. They're 19,000 kV, and I believe they're a little bit lighter. I'll have to weigh them back to back to actually see, but I believe they're a little bit lighter, so that's pretty awesome, having a little bit lighter motor and also having it 19,000 kV instead of 18,000 kV. Now we're going to head straight over to the scales and get some weighing done. We're going to compare this to the Hummingbird version 2 and see how much the weight comparison is in between these two things. Okay, first off we're going to be weighing the Hummingbird version 2, and that comes in at 25.60 grams. And then let's go ahead and switch straight over to the BLV4, and that comes in at 23.84 grams. So it actually comes in quite a bit lighter, and I wasn't expecting that at all because never thought something with more options would be lighter. A lot of times with my whoop videos, all I do is fly around inside the house, but this one, I think a lot of people might be taking this flight controller and putting on something bigger later. You could get this for now while it's cold outside, and then later, as soon as it becomes spring or whatever, you could take this flight controller and put it on something like a Savage Bee or a Mosquito Extra Large. That is when 400 milliwatt on the VTX and having 1/3 mile of receiver range is really going to come in handy when you stick it on that Savage Bee and you want to go a long ways. Okay, let's go ahead and get this thing up in the air and see how far we can go on a range test to see if it falls out of the sky or if my video fails and I can't see a thing, which fails first and how far we can go. And then after that we're going to fly around inside. I'm going to set up a little race course inside my house because most likely you'll be doing that also with this thing. Let's get straight to it. It's been over a week since I got this AcroBee version 4, and so far I really like it. I did end up cracking the frame. So far I've put probably about 50 to 100 packs through it, and I've been wrecking it pretty hard on some of my crashes inside when I was trying to do like my race little course. But I did crack the frame. It's not that bad, I still can fly with it, but it is cracked there. That's the only issue I've had with it so far, and you can pick up frames pretty cheap. And also NewBeeDrone does have that replacement plan, so if you do crack a frame, just put in a warranty claim, and then the next time you order something from them, they'll send you a new frame. The reason why I didn't put the video out as soon as I got this thing is because I wanted to make this video a more rounded video and give it a little bit more time, so I had a little bit more time on the sticks with this thing. So I'm not just putting out a video after flying the whoop 3 times. This one I did fly a lot more, and I am very happy with how it's performed so far. I was able to fly all the way down my street with this thing, which isn't that far, but it's probably around 1,000 foot is my guess. And it had great video signal clear down the end. And actually, I didn't even have a directional antenna on my video. So if I would have had a directional antenna, I would have even got better reception on video. And also, the ELRS was doing great. It wasn't getting close to fail-safing. So the range test did go pretty good. I was pretty happy with that. And then also I flew behind my garage because a lot of times with the version 3 board, I was struggling flying behind my garage and having the video going so bad that I hardly could see where I was flying. And on the version 4 with the 400 milliwatt, it did good with that, going through the block, so I was pretty happy with that. One thing I did forget to mention is that the board, the BLV4, is 2-cell compatible, so that is pretty awesome if you wanted to move to a 2-cell setup later on. This is my personal opinion, and you can take it how you want, but for somebody flying only indoors and flying on a small course, I probably actually would recommend something besides the AcroBee version 4, just because there's really no reason to have 400 milliwatts of VTX power and also having a third of a mile of range. If you're only flying on a small course indoors, I would probably recommend something a little bit cheaper than this. Now, the person that this is going to be really good for is somebody more like me. I'm not always whoop racing, and sometimes I like flipping it out to something else. And that is exactly what this would be great for, is if you want to buy this for in the winter, if you only have enough money to buy one whoop and then later switch it out to something else. I would definitely recommend this one because you can buy this, later on buy a frame, motors, and flip it out to a Savage Bee or a Mosquito, extra large Mosquito, and you can have a full 2-cell setup with 400 milliwatt of VTX output and then a third of a mile of range. And that's where I would really recommend this one, is to somebody that's only buying one for in the winter and then moving on later on in the summer and the spring to something you can fly outside. Overall, I am really enjoying this whip, and I would recommend it to any of you guys because I feel like this is a great product. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. A little bit longer than normal, but if you stuck around to the end, give me a thumbs up emoji down in the comments, and we will see you guys next time.